It's okay for right now. But yeah, yeah, man, what a night, man. We was out moving around, you know. But what I heard on the way home this morning, took like a little nap. When I don't know why I couldn't sleep last night. I was just thinking, but I woke up and is on. This girl's on a live, and they are going crazy. They're going crazy. Did anybody see that? And that's something that we gotta start looking into. I'll tell you why. Oh, I'm talking. I'm not even gonna name the girl on here, but everyone knows who I'm talking about. You know, and NASA, like out of this world, bro. NASA, like in a different planet. Yeah, no, I know, I know, but it's interesting. It's very interesting the whole thing because you can kind of see vile how vile these people are. You know, very vile. Oh come on, bro. You know I'm getting blocked off of every live. Man, these guys are working overtime, aren't they? No, I agree, Moonlight. I agree. Yeah, if they don't get her in a week, she's out. Bro said I was running. Yeah, right. Do I ever run from a debate, bro? You guys are the ones that literally run and throw people out and be like, "Nah, we're gonna talk over you and stuff." That's not what we do, buddy. You know what's funny? There's probably like 10 times more Christians on this app than Muslims. Yet the Muslims on this app dominate the Christians, knowledge-wise and like influence-wise. You know, they dominate knowledge-wise, influence-wise. And like if I go like down the line, just debates, like pure debates that actually happen, you don't really see these guys doing debates anymore. You know why? Because it's always a bad look. Always a bad look for them. They only accept specific debates with specific people. Why is that? Why do you guys think that is? Because this is not about guys. When you come to the realization that this is not about um how do I put it? And guys, I'm gonna talk nice on this account just in case, because this account I like this account. But do you guys notice that these guys only debate certain topics with certain people because they know that if they do it a certain way, that they'll actually get you guys know what happens. I don't gotta say too much, because I just look at it like this. Like, when it comes to the truth, there's there's only you know, there's only one, and it's not them, you know? Of course. Of course. Yassine, I have to be fair though. I have to be fair. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing that. Everybody's on their live blaspheming and stuff. But you know why? It's a bigger problem. This has nothing to do with it being online. It's what gets views. Have you ever seen a calm, peaceful live with more than like 30 views? Be real. Have you ever seen that? I'm not even looking at the phone, guys. So I don't. If someone's blaspheming in the chat, I'm gonna have to come back in a sec. But have you guys ever seen like somebody lock in on a good live? And that's the biggest problem with this app, bro, is that it's all about clout, views, and drama. Clout, views, and drama. That's all it's about. And that's why, as a Muslim or any type of religious person, you have to make a decision to even be on this app. You know? Because you can actually compromise your own mental state. Like, I spoke to somebody last night that I hadn't spoke to in a while. It was a Muslim who became Christian, who came back to Islam. And I asked him, I said, yo, I was um, what was it like being like a Christian not liking Islam, you know? And she was, he was like, you know what he said? He was like, all they did was blaspheme the Prophet. That's all they did. And when I had a question on Christianity, when he had a question on Christianity, they never answered him, because that's what Christians do. This is a deflect game, bro. This is let me talk about the Prophet, but not let me not be accountable for my books. If these guys read their books, bro, and their sources and everything, it's not gonna happen. You know, it's not gonna happen. And I mean, I can start from the New Testament and work my way backwards. I don't even have to start from the Old Testament. You know, you start from the Old Testament. I mean, the New Testament and work backwards. You know, I could, but you know, this is just what they have to do, right? So, at the end of the day, guys, I just look at it like this. I feel bad for this girl. Honestly, I do. Deep down, I feel bad for her. I spoke to her in the DMs. I, you know, I kind of like, yeah, it is 7 a.m. I just got B-Buddies. I've been out all night, bro. But it's all good, because I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, life is bigger than this app. Oh, it's cool, bro. Let them lie. I don't care, bro. Look, none of us are victims in this. Everybody's done stuff wrong here and there. We've done stuff wrong. They've done stuff wrong. But the difference is that our wrongs are within each other, right? Like, I may have said something to this person, they may have said something to me, but what she's doing, allowing them, enabling them to blaspheme Allah and His Messenger, that's unforgivable. That's something that shows the heart. That's something that shows your heart posture, as the Christians would call it, right? And when you can sit there and hear that, that's the worst you could ever do, you know? But you have to use this as a reminder, you know? You guys have to use this as a reminder. Also, she's saying she's gonna, yeah. Yeah, I'm shivering. I mean, how long have they been saying that? How long have they been saying that? Why if that's so true, how long they've been saying that? How long they've been saying that? Why am I still sitting here? Between the You know what's funny? I'm their biggest fear right now. I'm their biggest problem because they don't care that they don't care that, oh, who's talking, because it's not about dawah. Like I could bring Eminem here right now and unleash academic sources about any subject, right? But they don't care about that because to them, the Christians are not tuned in to trying to learn or like hear their sources. What they're tuned into is their fear of being exposed for who they really are. And the only person who's going to do that, they know in their way, is me, right? So it's like I look at it like this, guys. Some people just they don't care about facts. They don't care about facts. All they care about is you gotta look at Blake, bro, as you can't take this whole situation literal, right? You have to take it metaphorical. What's happening right now? What's happening right now is you have someone who's obviously, you know. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, and just to let the people listening know, and even her to know, whether she hears this or is listening, however she hears it. This girl, RX Blake, I remember her now. You see, guys, sometimes you just need to trigger your memory and you remember stuff. You know who this is? This is the same girl, and I got the screenshots to prove it. I got them sent to me last night because you know why? We were in a group text talking about this girl months ago. RX Blake, yep. This is the girl, bro, who used to post pictures saying, I'm a Christian Muslim, and I had a dream that I saw Jesus with piercing in his hands. You know? You get what I'm saying? This is that same chick. This is the same girl. I remember her now, 100%. She's the one that said, I saw Jesus in the dream with his hands pierced. You know? So she's rebranded herself, put a new profile picture, and thought she was going to sneak by. But I remember her because she was up on someone's live. And you know what's funny? She changed her username slightly. She's going by Blake, but her username was RX Blake. And I remember this girl because I remember messaging the group chat saying there's a girl on live saying that she saw Jesus in a dream and she's a Muslim Christian. I mean, guys, we've seen it all, right? We've seen Muslim Christian, Christian Muslims. Some people, they just want to like intertwine two beliefs that will never intertwine, right? I mean, the true Christians who follow Jesus, alayhi salam, they're Muslims. We intertwine with them, but we don't intertwine with, you know, people who associate partners with Allah, right? We can never do that. Let me tell you why we can't do that. Because, and I'll use like an example that makes sense to me, okay? The example is this. Imagine you have a girlfriend, or we could just say a wife, because we're all Muslim, you know? Imagine you have a wife, and you go out to the store, and you buy flowers, right? And instead of giving them to your wife, you give them to another woman. Well, someone's going to tell you, like, oh, well, that was a nice deed. You gave flowers to another woman. But your wife is not going to see it like that, is she? Because your wife is the only one who's deserving of your flowers. Why? Because of the covenant between you two, right? In the same way, Allah is the only one worthy of worship. Anybody else being worshipped, and notice the difference, guys, between the Muslims, specifically the Sunni, right? Because obviously we have to specify online, but we could say Muslims, but that's in the sense of knowing who the real Muslims are. The Sunnis get attacked by everyone. Shia, Christian, Jews, atheist, Hindu, you name it. But the Christians team up with what? The Jews, the Hindus, the atheists, right? So I look at it like this, guys, right? There's no one worthy of worship except Allah. That's the first part. And how do I know there's no? How do I put into reality that there's no one worthy of worship except Allah? I testify in His last and final messenger that came, which is Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And when I say peace and blessings be upon him, I'm talking about Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Adam, Noah, right? Dhul Kifl, Idris. I'm talking about all of them together, right? Because when you say peace and blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, the Prophet tells us that it is the article of faith to follow everyone that came before that. No Muslim is a Muslim without believing in all the messengers of God. And this is why, guys, Muhammad is the last and final messenger and the true prophet, the seal of the prophet. Because what he did was, he came as an attorney for Jesus. Look at what the Prophet Muhammad did that no one else has ever done. He came as an attorney for Jesus to correct people. About what they said of Jesus when they lied. Right? Remember, they all lied on Jesus. And Prophet Muhammad was the only one who came and corrected it and said, nope, he never said that. He said, worship my Lord and your Lord alone. Think about that, guys. Think about that. While people go today on Sunday worshiping him when he never asked for it, knowing that their repentance, their asks will never be accepted. Their repentance, their asks will never be accepted. Why? Because they associate with Allah. And I'm talking about the Trinitarians specifically. The oneness, right? And all other heretical groups, right? We see that in chapter 5, verse 72, 73. Those that say Allah is the Messiah, Son of Mary, right? So this is talking about oneness Christians. They have certainly fallen into disbelief. You know? They have certainly fallen into disbelief. And those that say Allah is one of three. Three what? Oh, he's one God. No, he's one of three. What does he say? Don't say three. 1 John 5:7. There's three that bear witness in heaven. 3, 3, 3. All across the board, everywhere, three. But it's one. But it's three. But it's one. But it's three. Right? But it's one. No, it's three. I mean, this is the only place, ladies and gentlemen, on this planet. And this is why you have to guard yourself. Right? Because This is the only place on earth you'll find three equaling one. Now, how do they massage that and cover that up? Well, your prophet knew this. Your prophet did that. Your prophet did this. Your prophet did that. Your prophet did this. Your prophet did that. Right? So the question is just very simple. Very simple. Very simple. The question is just this. If the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was a fake prophet, a'udhu billah, a'udhu billah, then why are the fake prophets that came, is he the only one whose message stood the test of time? Why? Think about it, guys. Why, out of all the prophets that came, is he, right, the only one whose message stood the test of time? Think about it, guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't want to say this on live because it's personal, but I don't care. When I left, I got to the crib about 2 hours ago. I knocked out, right? Bro, wallahi, I'm not gonna say I had a dream about prophets because that's not true. But I had a dream that, like, we were all being cornered as Muslims, and that we had to, like, we stood together and we took all the enemies out. I literally seen that in my dream. And this is like a representation, for me at least, of just life in general. Anything you do in life that's good, you have to, and that's why I even came on the live. Everyone knows it's 7:40 here. Like, I'm literally about to just skate to the gym in an hour. Might as well. But I look at it like, this is something that you have to, as Muslims, like, really understand that everybody is against you. Everybody is against you now. It's getting to that time, ladies and gentlemen, where everybody's against you. You know? Even your own. Right? So, all I want to say is, to the Muslims in the chat, don't be hasty, but also don't be, understand the situation, right, that we're facing. So, we just have to go back, bro. Whenever things go like this, we just have to go back to the basics, which is what? Giving dawah. That's what we have to go back to. We have to go back to giving dawah. All of this extra nonsense, that's what they want. That's what they want. So we got to stand with each other and gain knowledge, and all of us have to become vessels of dawah, right? Now look, I'm not, the reason why, guys, I don't really give dawah anymore is because, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not in that stage of my life anymore. Like, I'm not in the stage to drop everything and come give dawah. I'm still young at heart. I still get excited about other conversations, like, to do with women and this and that. Like, I'm not mentally here yet. That's why for me it's like, I'm on and off, and I don't do this properly, because the truth is, I'm not really in this, like, right now. I'm literally just covering right now. I look at it as like, I'm waiting for Muslims to step up so I can just dip, you know? So this is not me. Yeah, I'm 29, bro, but look, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I never had a childhood like you guys. My childhood was survival, a lot of it. My childhood was figuring things out. I had to do stuff that I didn't have the chance to go and be a kid. I'll be honest. I went straight from figuring things out to school, right? And just being a geek, to then going back to, all of that nonsense. And it just, and then I had the whole music phase where life took off, and I never had I never slowed down and was like, what is life about, you know? Because it was just constant, like, either big success or big failures, you know? So I look at it like this, like, these last couple years have been really beneficial for me on this app, you know? Just to learn my religion really well and understand what's going on, you know? Hold on, I'm looking at the phone now. Wait, does anyone need to get blocked? Is anyone blaspheming, or what are we doing? Hold on. Guys, I'm not going to scroll up. Is anyone blaspheming that we need to get rid of, or are we straight? There's only 40 people here. That's good. Here. Who's mod? I'm just going to make one person mod. Who's sticking around? Who's sticking around? Not really? Oh, okay. Alright. Maleek, join the live and stop running. Ronaldo, join what live, bro? Bro, you guys will all panic if I show up. If I show up, it will be a frenzy. It will be an absolute frenzy, bro. Have you not seen when I show up what happens? Have you not seen when I show up what happens? And by the way, Ronaldo, you don't have any pull in those lives anyway. As soon as I go there, they'll be like, don't let him up. So, cut that out. Cut that out, bro. You guys aren't built like that. Maleek, I'd like to invite you to Shabbat dinner next month. Oh, man. The Jews love to try win my heart, don't they? Oh, man. You guys are funny. Look, there's good Christians and good Muslims out here. Don't ever get it twisted, you know? There's good Christians and there's good Muslims out here. Never get it twisted. But what we're facing is not that on this app. That's why I realized we're not facing. That's a dude running that account. Look, guys, as long as they're not blaspheming, let them talk. I don't care. I really don't care. But guys, the problem is sometimes in life you have to stand your ground. Like, it's nice to be like, yeah, they're nice people and protect them and this and that. And you guys have seen me, right? I come at Muslims, I come at Christians. It's not like I'm just like standing with Muslims all the time, because, bro, the difference between a cult and a way of life is that a way of life doesn't bend for anyone. What's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. We don't make excuses. We don't make excuses for those who are a certain race, religion, anything when they do something wrong. And then, you know, for this religion it's okay, but for that it's not. No, it's not. Everything, bro, has its way of life, and we need to be firm on that. But at the same time, guys, what's happened, unfortunately, on this app is that, and unfortunately, I think it started from me, honestly, from the whole DOX stuff, that people started realizing that views are got by doing certain things, right? That don't pertain to any of that, you know? So that's unfortunate, right? Guys, stop asking, is this my car? Stop asking, is this my car? This is not my car. This is not a car that I own, but this is definitely a car that I've scratched the tires of. This is definitely a car that has scratched rims on it because of me. Yo, this is definitely a car that has a couple bumps on it because of me. Because you know what, guys? When I'm out in those streets driving, and if I got one of these, bro, I don't care. You guys want to know something funny? One time I went through an In-N-Out drive-thru in the Rolls Royce, bro. It was the stupidest thing I ever did. The silliest thing. I went double R. Double R. Who is this guy, bro? Account delete. Bro, yeah, me panicking. I was like, what the heck? All right, go away. Okay. Now, yeah, I was like, what the heck's going on here, guys? I went through a drive-through in the Rolls Royce, bro, and I messed the car up so bad. Oh my God, this guy. How is this guy doing that? Okay. So yeah, that's funny, isn't it? So yeah, this is not my car. Don't ever get it twisted. But there's definitely a scratch on the rim because of me. So, what the? Okay. But anyway, I look at it like this. I spoke to somebody yesterday that was Muslim, that went to Christianity, that came back to Islam, and it was nice to hear them say. It was nice to hear them say, you know, their experience as being a Christian, you know, and to hear them like kind of. I'm not gonna say the name. You know why, Mustafa? I can't say the name because it's funny when people convert out of Islam. It's like, oh, you gotta be careful, but it's really the other way around. Wallah, it's the other way around. I've seen people fear for their life to say they're Muslim out of fear, and it's so funny because I look at it like, wow, you know, wow. This is why, guys, life is a test. See, Bart, I don't know why you're being aggressive, bro. You don't need to do all that. Why do you have to, Bart? You don't have to do all that. See, Bart, I should mute you for that. If I'm being fair, I should literally just mute you for saying that. Because this is the problem. Guys, if you're running a military operation, did the Prophet ever allow, like in war, someone to step out of the line of discipline? Like, did he ever say, okay, everyone be cool, but you go break the rules? No, that was your weak soldier right there. You don't do that. You stay disciplined, bro. There's no need to throw any type of insult towards another religion, bro, when you're not under attack. You know? So come on. Let's do that. Listen, guys, I'm never gonna promote people blaspheming, and you'll see 100 recordings of me. You'll see 100 recordings of me online saying the wildest stuff, but you'll never hear them post this of me. You know, you'll never hear them post that Maleek doesn't allow blaspheming. You know, because I'm not really with that, and I'm for debates. I'm for this and that, but there's a bigger picture here, guys. What these guys are finding the courage to do, I wouldn't even call it courage, but I'd call it cowardness courage, right? Because a lot of them, I mean, they'd rather you did something to their Bible than put their info out, right? I mean, if I'm a real man, right? I'm a Muslim. If you have a problem with Islam, then come see me. I mean, I'm in Long Beach, California. I mean, I can drop any type of info for anyone who's interested in actually doing that. You know? Everyone knows what I look like. Everyone knows everything about me. Everyone knows who I run with, who I am. But these guys like want to just be cowardly courageous. And guys, if you think that these people are bad, right? Imagine how many people in silence think these things that they're saying. Right? Imagine how many people in silence think these things that they're saying. Right? So, you guys have to be careful. You guys have to watch out. You guys have to really stand your ground, but at the same time be disciplined. Trust. The older I get, the more I feel that discipline's gonna get me to the end. You know? Discipline's gonna get any of us to the end. It's not going to be how loud you shout. It's not going to be how hard you hit. Discipline is going to get you to the end. And that's why, but Logos, I don't know what your name is, but your username is Logos. The thing is that my faith is not anymore confirmed because a church shut down. And this is what I need Muslims to understand too. My faith is affirmed. You know why? Because of the beautiful words in the Quran. When I read the Quran, bro, versus the Bible, the Quran speaks to me. The Quran is authoritative. The Quran commands. That's my God. My God told me this and that. That's my creator. That's the creator of the heavens and the earth. Right? When I read the Bible, I feel like I'm reading a storybook, a novel. It's like you have a narrator giving me the words of what somebody else said and what they did and this and that. I feel like I'm being narrated through a story. And the story just sounds very like they're trying to get away with stuff. Like, he did this, he did that. The next day, this happened. Like, there's no honesty in the book. It feels just very like there's a lot of lying going on, you know? And then we have a lot of contradictions too. Like, the problem is with the Bible is that there's inconceivable crap. I'm not gonna act like I have good vocab. There's what's the word I'm looking for? There's contradictions that are irreconcilable. There you go. Thank you, bench press. Irreconcilable contradictions. And I've seen them with my own two eyes. I've showed my mom with my own two eyes. I've showed any Christian girl or guy that I've been around with my own two eyes. And it's sad, bro. It's really sad. Because as a Muslim, I have the answer to everything in my books. I have the answer to everything. I do. I have the answer to everything in my books. Now they're going to say, well, you don't have the answer to how Allah has a hand. Well, it's a literal hand, but it's a hand unlike anything creation. So what's the hand? I don't need that. That's not an answer that I'm talking about. I'm talking about an answer to like something in the book. For example, the sun sets, or wajada, the sun appeared to Dhul Qarnayn sitting in a sunny, what do you call it, murky water, right? Okay, I look at that and I'm like, when I first read that, I didn't see it, but when it was brought up on Google, you get like curious, like, okay, what is this talking about? Wallahi, bro, you can go find commentaries in the thousands about this. In the thousands, you can find them all. The answers are all on the table. And the Quran gets more miraculous as the years go on. Whereas the Bible becomes more founded contradictions the years go on. No, T, I just said that's not my car. I just said I put a scratch on the rims though. Like, so I guess it was my car for a bit. But guys, this gas, you know where this is? I was filling up in Santa Monica, and I went to go. It was me and my homie. Look, you see my homie? He's filling up the tank. You see that little Asian guy in the back? That's my homie. He's filling it up. You can see it like next to the window. And I was just like, I went and put the gas, and he was filling it. And fun fact about me, guys, I don't mind filling up gas. I don't mind filling up gas, but I don't like filling up gas. Like, I'll do it if I'm with a chick, but if I'm with the homie, because I'm the money man, so I'll just go inside, pay, and I like to do things quick too. I like to be in and out, especially in LA. You can't really be with this car in the gas station like that, just chilling, because you never know who's gonna roll up and who's who, right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go inside, whoop whoop whoop, you do that, and it's like, you know, that's what it is, you know. But yeah, man, life is good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Life is good. That's not a Corvette, bro. What are you talking about? Who told you that's a Corvette, Abdul? That's not a Corvette. Oh, but that's literally a McLaren. This is a McLaren, bro. McLaren. It's a McLaren, not a Corvette. But anyway, guys, this car is made of metal. This car is not going to do anything for you in this life or the next. Believe me, this car, if you own it for more than 2 weeks, you're going to run into problems with it. You know, and you ain't going to take the metal to the grave either, you know? So, again, I'm grateful that I learned about religion on this app. But I think, you know, I'm not in that stage of life to really do this full time. And I'm starting to feel guilty about it. Because if I was full time in this, bro, I would absolutely day and night. I would spend 6 hours. If I was in this full time, bro, I would spend 6 hours a day studying, 6 hours a day on doing dawah, 6 hours a day on the street, and I would sleep for 6 hours. That's if I was doing this full time. Because I'm the type, anything I put my mind to, I gotta do it full time, you know? So I do feel like I cheapen the dawah a little bit when I come, because I don't put my all into it. It's like I'll have a good day or two of dawah, and then I'll go back to being turnt, you know? Then I'll come back and like be like, oh, I'm gonna turn up on this guy. Then I go back to giving dawah. Like that's not how this should be done, bro. If somebody's really wanting to do dawah, I'm not going full time. No, I'm not. Bro, if I was going full time, that would literally be, if I was going full time, bro, that would be the nightmare of everyone on this app. I'm not ready. I'm not in that stage of life. I'm really not. I got a lot of other things I gotta handle in life before I can do this. And I can't make videos or even be a part of this, to be honest, with all the other stuff I'm doing, you know? So it is hypocritical. It is hypocritical to think about it. It's hypocritical to come here and preach every day and then tomorrow have music videos lined up and all these other things lined up, and like have, you know, talk to certain girls and do this. Like it's so hypocritical, you know? It's so hypocritical. Imagine coming on here giving dawah and then going on and having another life, sitting in the studio all night recording, and then waking up and, you know, rah 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 on the phone with labels and this and that. I need this feature, I need that, I need to get this, I need to do that, we need to talk about the tour, we need to talk about this. Like it's just silly, and it's been silly on my part too, and I've been torn at it, you know. I did nearly leave music so many times. Wallah, I nearly shut everything down so many times, but I had to look at everything holistically, and I don't think I want to do dawah this way, even when I do it full time, you know? Like I have a lot of commitments, guys. Like I have contracts and stuff that I can't get out of right now. I'm in a lot of stuff that, like, you know, I just, like, I have to finish what I started, you know? And it's just something that, you know, it's just something that I have to finish, bro, you know? But at the same time, when I do come back, like when I do this full time, I'm going to do it in a completely different way. Because this TikTok fast food debates and this and that, it's just like, it's not going to work, is it? We need to have, like, Muslim Lantern has a good platform, you know? That guy knows what he's doing. Warner does good on the streets. I love Warner on the streets. I went with him once, actually. Bro, I had to go because it was in Santa Monica. I had to go undercover. I literally was wearing all black. Nobody recognized me. Actually, one person did recognize me. One person was like, "Are you that rapper?" And I was like, "No." I remember Warner was like, damn. Warner was like, bro, he's like, what the heck? But yeah, for me, it was just more like, I can't. You know what? I would love to give dawah out in public. I would love it. Because think about it. You can actually have proper convos, not this fast food. So imagine, you would never see any of this in real life. You know? And real life dawah plays to my skill set too, because I'm a really good, I memorize a lot of stuff, right? So it's like, imagine like just me and someone debating, like it would just be like a crazy situation. So yeah, exactly. In real life, people in real life people will have respect for themselves, right? That's kind of like what we like. And like I said, guys, like I met Maleek would only give dawah to the women. You know what? And that is me. That is me. But that's not the final that's not the final draft of me. Cause you know, Maleek once upon a time, like Maleek was a one woman man at a lot of times in my life. You know, I think that once me and my ex had split, that it changed me of what I thought love was. You know, because I always looked at love as something you do once. So I never understood if that wasn't gonna happen. That, you know, I just kind of looked at love differently after that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it is something that I am very what's the word, like even tonight or when I was out right now, like when you go out at night, you talk to people, it's like you just naturally attract certain people, you know. So yeah, it's nice to talk to women, but it's not a long term, you know. It's not a long term thing, you know. You can't really live your life moving like that. But I would love to talk to people, men, women, old men, young men, women on the streets about Islam. Like, that would be cool. That would be cool. But at the same time, like, I'm also in a different world, so it's like, yeah, bro, old people are the best people to give dawah to, bro. Because uh, uh, oh my god, people already messaging my phone. Old people, they're on their way out, you know. Old people are on their way out, so telling them about it is really cool because a lot of them listen and they have that life experience, you know. They have that life experience. Oh man, we're just venting at this point, aren't we? But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, when it comes to the dawah on this app, let me ask you guys something. What would you guys like to see more of on this app, and what would you like to see less of on this app? I think that's a good question that I want. What would you like to see more of on this app, and what would you like to see less of on this app? And I don't want like long answers, but just honest answers. What would you like to see more of on this app and less of? And I'm only accept. Let me see. More street dawah, less doxing, less drama, more dawah, more Muslim, less Christian. I like to see people centered in one life and less jahil. More dawah, less cooking, less debating big Christian TikTokers. More knowledge, let's ghetto. I have no idea who you. That's nothing to do with me. Less ghetto talk. Oh, I'm feeling attacked by some of these comments, guys. More brotherhood, sisterhood between Muslims. More unity, less ego debates. Less toxicity. Less Blake. More Maleek's lives, less God Logic lives. Oh my god, you guys. More Daniel too. We need proper class like M got Philo, Omar got Akida. Definitely more Dawa. Yeah. Alright guys, relax, relax. You know what's funny though? Like a lot of these answers, they sound good, but they never play out right, do they? You know? They never play out great because it's like these lives never get the views. These lives that you talk about never get views, you know? Like let's say for example, Central and Logic went into a room right now. Let's say they were on another live debating. This room would go from 50 to 13 within 2 seconds. So it's kind of hard that you know, it's just something that it's just something that you as the audience has to kind of you guys control a lot, bro. This is what I learned even in the music world. The streets talk. The streets talk. The streets talk. So what do you mean you saw me? Where did you see me? In CA? Where in CA did you see me? You didn't see me anywhere. Stop it. And even if you did, you didn't come say hi. So don't count. We got Muslim hosting Bible studies before GTAs. Oh my god, yo, you guys are funny. Oh, you ain't no girl. You got a girl profile. No girl uses that two that emoji like that. Stop it. No, come on, guys. You know what it is though, guys. You're right. Okay, let me ask you another question. I'm not 6'2", I'm 6'1", but appreciate it. Appreciate the extra inch. But anyway, um, I got another question. Um, what makes you, and Christians can answer this too. What type of conversation interests you? What kind of conversations interest you? Like on TikTok. Like is it all just Islamic topics, Christian topics, or is it like a mixture of like Islamic Christian but then also like real life stuff? Uh like real life like what type of stuff interests you guys? Maleek, you were drinking? No, I wasn't. All right, Queen Chambers. Now you're lying. You're obviously messing around, so it's time for you to go. Thanks for coming. Religious conversations is both, but separated. I don't know, bro. Both. Business strategy, sincere religion. Jesus agreed to everything the Prophet Muhammad did. Common. The thing about you, Common, is that you're trying to be a hero. Okay, I can relate to you in a lot of ways, Common. But you need to stop. You need to stop aiding her, saying we're friends, hitting her up in the back chat, Common. That's enough. Sometimes you gotta cut ties, bro. It's time to cut ties. If you can hear me, Common, it's time to cut ties with that girl. Okay? Cherie, you know what's funny, Cherie? Let me tell you something. Cherie, let me tell you something. There's a bigger pandemic than Christians on this app, and you just spotted it. It's atheists. Bro, I know of a Discord server with Arab atheists. Meaning these are Muslims that are like Muslims that are ex-Muslim, but they're not Christian. They're just atheist people, right? Bro, their server had 14,000 people in it. Think about that. 14,000 people. 14,000 people. Guys, atheism is a bigger pandemic than all this other stuff. Atheism, people are becoming atheists by the hundreds every day, and it's going undetected. It's going undetected. Right? You know why? Because it's a one-way. Yeah, I did stop myself from saying, you know what? But it's a one-way street with them, because you can't attack. You can't attack back. You can't say anything to them, because to them, even if you attack atheism, they don't claim it like, "Oh, I'm an atheist, like I'm protecting atheism." There's no such thing. It's just you're protecting nothing. But they can just they'll just go into all your stuff, right? And you're right, Barney. People do just be giving up. They do just give up. That's sad. And that's the test of this life, Barney. You give up. You give up. You don't give up. You can give up 10 times and come back the 11th, you know? But, like, all I'm going to say to you guys is you never give up. No matter how hard life gets, never give up. I'll tell you why. Because just because Allah is like some of the people you love the most in life, you test them the hardest. Like, for example, I'll give you a great example. There's people, like I'll give you an example with me. I had two friends, okay? Like two of my close friends. They were like we were a group of three. Two of us and then me. I liked one over the other, right? And I would be meaner to that person. I would be stricter on that person. I would be more demanding of that person. In their head, they thought that I liked the other person better because I was being nicer to them and sweeter and stuff. But when you love someone more, you actually test them more. Because those tests, every time they pass, small or big, is an opportunity to grow closer together. And that's what Allah does with His creation. He gives us tests constantly to bring us closer together. Ain't that a thing? Ain't that amazing? Ain't that amazing that Allah gives us tests to bring us closer together or closer with Him, right? Those tests that Allah gives you are out of love, because who would love you? Who would want you to be closer to them except someone that loves you? Allah loves every single one of you in here that are Muslim. And guess what? Allah has mercy on the Christians. Allah has mercy on the Jews. Allah has mercy on all other people. Why did you say that, Maleek? No, they're najis. No, Allah has mercy on these people. Let me tell you why. Because these people, they get rich. Christians get rich. Jews get rich. These people have successful families. These people have they achieve many goals in life, right? But guess what? He's allowing that to all happen, right? He's allowing all that to happen for them. But why would Allah allow that to happen for people who don't believe in Him? Well, Allah extends His mercy to everyone on this earth, because the test of life, I'm gonna tell you about the test of life. We'll use the classroom example, right? When you go through a test in life, let's use a class. Okay, I'll give you an example. In biology, when I first took biology, right? You get 3 midterms, 1 final exam, attendance, and like homework, right? And they each have a different percentage. In the beginning of class, right? In the beginning of class, you failed the first midterm. You failed the second midterm. All of a sudden, the third midterm, the final exam, the attendance, everything, and extra credit, next thing you know, you have a 90%. But how? You failed the first 2 tests. And that's the window of opportunity in the classroom. That's the window of opportunity. Do you guys know about Kobe Bryant? What happened to Kobe? Kobe, when he first came into the league, was benched. Kobe Jellybean Bryant was benched when he first walked into the league. By the time he left the league, he was one of the top 10 undeniable greatest basketball players of all time. Jay-Z was making music, and he didn't blow up until he was 33. And who has one of the highest net worths of the music game right now? Jay-Z. Yeezy, Kanye, a dear friend of mine. Someone that I actually consider a friend, even if we haven't spoken in a while. Started as a producer. Didn't even get a shot to be a rapper. Right? Didn't even get a shot. Next thing you know, one of the best albums, College Dropout, of all time. Right? So you never know in life, guys, what's happening. Right? Now, just because you win in some areas of life, the whole prize. Guys, do you see how many phone calls I get in the morning? Like, it's like 8:20 and people don't respect me. They just call me at 8 in the morning. Like, it's disrespectful, guys. Honestly, guys, cut people off in your life that call you at silly hours. Like, why would you call me at 8 a.m.? Why? It's disrespectful. It's actually disrespectful. But whatever. Sorry, I get mad easily. That's why it's hard for a woman to deal with me. Because I'm the type of guy, like, if you leave the toilet seat up, like, I'm gonna go crazy for no reason. But it's like, dude, how you going no, it's not French calling me, bro. It's literally this chick that wants to be the first one to say good morning, like, in the morning. It's like, bro, please, Habibti, stay in your lane, please. Anyway, now, bro said it's better than no one calling you. No, thank you, bro. Bro, if I could just have no one calling me, bro, that would be fantastic. No one calling sounds like a dream. But anyway, guys, back to the subject. If life was about acing the first test, then a lot of people would fail school. Right? So, no, it wasn't you because you have my other phone number. And I've seen your messages, by the way. I need to get back to you. I don't actually have an excuse, but I'll figure out an excuse by the time I call you. But anyway, my thing is this. If everyone's passed the first midterm of the day or of their school year, then a lot of people would have failed. And this is why Allah gives mercy and leeway to the Christians and Jews and to the polytheists and everything. He allows them to have this world. He allows them to have nice things. Just because someone prayed to Jesus and their prayer got answered, that doesn't mean that that he was their God. He's the true God. Or he's God at all. But oh, hold on, what the heck is this? Puzzle. What's this puzzle? Unable to verify. Oh, what the heck? Sorry, guys. Wait, guys, what the heck? I got a puzzle? Why I got jigsaw puzzles to solve now? What's wrong with this app? It said solve the puzzle. Anyway, don't they hear me talking? Anyway, Um, Now, I think what we need to realize is that we need to understand that God is, we are, I'm going to tell you guys something, and it's going to sound very Christian-esque, but it's actually something that we believe as Muslims, right? But notice how I'm going to say it, because if you misconstrue it, you're going to take it wrong. But we have authentic hadith that says we are all made in the image of God. Maleek, you stole that from Christian? No, that's in my hadith, my authentic hadith collection. What do we mean by the image of God? We don't mean that God has a nose and this and that and has blood, flesh, and this and that. No, we all have the fact that God has mercy. We have mercy. God's mercy is unlike ours, but we have this attribute of mercy, right? God has compassion. I have compassion, but my compassion is unlike his, right? So the Christians and Jews and polytheists and pagans, they are also been made, right? That's not a Shia Sufi hadith, bro. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with this guy? Anyway, so that's authentic hadith, my friend. This is in the collection of books. See, this is why. Never mind. I'm not gonna start. Breathe, Maleek. Breathe. It's early. Breathe early. Okay, guys. This is why you need to study your religion, because if you got caught on a panel, and someone brought that to you, you wouldn't even know how to deal with it. But it's authentic hadith. It's literally authentic hadith that and it's actually in conjunction of actually someone slapping their brother in the face, that we shouldn't hit each other in the face because of this, right? And then this is the hadith brought up in the context of that, right? So at the end of the day, guys, all I'm saying is that we need to do better. And having these, I feel like we're all, I feel like I'm talking to 46 people individually right now. I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe it's just a bunch of blabber to you. But I feel very intimate in this moment with all 46 of you, right? We're having a great conversation. I feel like we're having a conversation right now. We're on a date. No homo, but we're on a date, guys. You know? Like, we're vibing. We're vibing out. We're vibing through a phone, right? So the fact that we can actually be Muslim and have these type of conversation, no, Bart, relax. So what I'm saying is that you see how like we can do this as Muslims. We don't need to like always jump into these chaotic things. And I wish more of the Muslims would do this, bro. I wish more of the Muslims would come on panels and talk about life. Like, all of them. And we're going to have that moment in Mecca, a lot of us that I'm going to meet. But I wish through the internet we could have these convos and have people listen more to the stuff like this. You know? It doesn't always have to be chill lives, bro. But everything has its time and place. You know? So I hope that people can do that more, because having that connection is going to make the dawah stronger. But unfortunately, we just have too many temptations. For example, this person wants to debate. This person wants to cook. This person wants to, I'm going to, like, it's just a temptation, isn't it? That all of us fall into at times. Why? Because raging somebody, you gotta remember, bro, you have to, in order to entice someone, you have to engage their emotions. So, and Kanye taught me this. Wallahi, this is something Kanye to the West told me. Yeezy, my brother, told me this. How I get a violation warning? I didn't even do anything. Bro, you guys are Anyway, let me tell you guys something Kanye told me, right? Is this: love and hate are the same thing. He said the opposite of love is not given a beep. That's what he told me. And I never, ever clicked with that knowledge. Until now. Until recent years. Love and hate are the same thing. The opposite of love and hate is not given a crap. And you can really see that in your day-to-day life, bro. Those people that hate Islam really really fear it. Those who hate Christianity to the point of coming on live every day to talk about it, fear it. Really, they do. It's both ways. And Jews and this and that. Come on live and talk about your own religion. You wouldn't open a business and then spend your days talking about someone else's business. Like if I had a cookie company, I wouldn't talk about another person's cookie company. I would talk about my own. You get what I'm saying? But not caring is really is the opposite. And this is what I want people to understand, is that we care so much that our emotions can be our biggest enemies. And I'm number one of that. My emotions, because I care so much, I come on this app. I don't know how I got finessed to come back and hang out on this app. Like, I was off for like a good 2 months. Even more. I actually hadn't even logged into that other account for 4 months. So it's like, I care so much. And I know a lot of you guys care so much too about Islam. But sometimes our enemies are our worst emotion. Our emotions are our worst enemy. Because we care so much, sometimes we put ourselves in worse situations. Next thing you know, you got a panel full of Christians foaming, and it's gaining our attention. Guys, while Blake does all this on other lives and they blaspheme with her and we're getting angry about it, there's 100,000 other people blaspheming our religion that we don't know about, that we have no knowledge of. Tons of them, whether it's in private, whether it's outside, whether it's in the street, whether it's left, right, up, down. We have to be careful, guys, about controlling ourselves. We have to move tactfully. Oh my God. Guys, never learn English off of me. I speak English like a fob. But anyway, like we have to do things with tactics and with tactfully. There you go. Tactfully. So tactfully, actually both of them work. We have to do things. Oh man, that's funny. Actually, the word I was looking for was tactfully. Tactfully was the proper word, because tactfully actually means you have a tactic, but it's in tactfulness, right? So anyway, you know what it is though, Bart? When you're rapping, you don't actually speak English. You speak a whole different language. Because there's words, bro, like I could make orange rhyme with gorgeous if I rapped it a certain way. Like if I said orange and gorgeous, right? Those things don't sound like they rhyme, but in a rap you would say gorgeous, orange. Like you could make it like really sound like it rhymes, So it's kind of like music ain't the English language, You get what I'm saying? Like, Slant rhyming, yeah. They call it slant rhyming, right? You could make anything rhyme. Yeah. Maleek, I'll pay you 30 hours to talk to me about a few things. First off, bro, I don't accept money for anything to do with Islam. But if you want to ask me something, just DM me, bro. I'm not saying that I'm going to answer, but you can try. I might answer. You never know. I'm bipolar, me. Sometimes I'll go months. Sometimes I won't say nothing. Sometimes I'll be there straight away, you know? But either way, guys, I'm having fun with this conversation. Honestly, this was a good vibe. I literally went to sleep at for 5:30. I was out all night. Woke up like 2 hours later. Seen this girl and what they were doing. Have some of it recorded as well, just for my own remembrance. And then I was like, you know what? I can either go back to sleep or I can just go to the gym. Hopped in the car, sat in front of the gym, realized that on Sunday they don't freaking open until 8 o'clock. So I was like, well, might as well go on TikTok, right? And just speak to the people. And I've had a great time. Really, you guys have kept me company. You guys have, been cool. So I feel like this is a side of you we never get to see. Yeah, guys, because, bro, look, onions have many layers to them, right? And people online will demonize you, right? Like, if you Google Dr. Maleek, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff about me that's either not true, an old part of me, or something that is just completely out. But the real Dr. Maleek is one that sat in his DM with his fans that were going through Uabide, right? And used to like sit there and really have conversations with people and help them. That would be people who would go out like you'd have a meet and greet, right? I'd have a meet and greet at my tour, like at one of my shows, and there would be 30 people who paid for a meet and greet, and there would be 80 people standing in line. And I'm like, people just want to meet you, but they don't got that extra $50 to do a meet and greet. So you're just like, F it. And I'd stay for 4 hours, not 4 hours, probably like 2.5 hours after a show to just do that. Sometimes, bro, in life, everything is about caring. And the same thing I did with this app. I sacrificed a lot on this app to try fill in positions that people weren't doing. You know? There was a lot of debaters. I could have kept debating and been one of those polished debaters, but I chose to help the Ummah in a way that wasn't being helped, which was two things: protect it and provide realness within it. Because the one thing as Muslims that we forget sometimes is that we are humans, and we also are a community of people that need to have real conversations, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And the protection being that, if we can't eradicate silly people on this app, but we can try tone it down. And I hope that people see that I have tried to tone it down on this app for a lot of these guys. And a lot of them do move a lot different now because of what potentially could be for them, right? So I've tried my best to fill in positions that were needed versus just do what everyone's doing. Let me be another dawah person on the scene. Let me be another live that's open amongst 20 other lives. Let me be another, let me be another perfect person that just waggles my finger at people. This is why I show you imperfections. This is why, guys, I'll come on a live and talk imperfect. Because like, I could be getting recorded right now, and you might catch me on anybody's page. Look at Maleek simping. They'll probably put violin music behind me, or like some nice little music behind it, and just be like, look at Maleek. But the reason why I don't care about any of that is because one of you guys might be having a bad day or a good day or this and that, and the fact that we were able to conversate, it might help, and that's what I want to do is help. Do you know how to freestyle? Of course, I know how to freestyle, bro. That's how I started this whole music. That's how I started even in music. I was outside, bro, doing battle rapping. I was battle rapping, bro. Like, I was. Why you think I always diss people's moms? That's why I used to do my battle raps. Oh man, man. Oh man, bro. I said something in a freestyle one time. It was me and my homie. It was me, my homie, actually, and two other people against this other guy. And I said, uh, what did I say? I remember, like in rap you have to be very like you always save your best bar for the last one, right? So I would always like fluff around in the freestyle, and I'd always like have my last bar be I said something so crazy once, everyone went berserk. What did I say? Uh uh what did I say? uh oh man, I remember the last line, but I need to remember the one before. I said everything coming out of his mouth is horse crap. I flattened his mama more than a doormat or something like that. And everyone went berserk. Everyone went berserk. And it was just like one of those feelings like in music, bro. Like in rap battle, when you had the crowd going crazy. That's why guys like I'm so good at like debating like on a panel. Like if you put me on a panel with 8 Christians, like I can navigate the room. It's not because like that's from experience. That's not like a natural talent you're born with. That's just like something you learn, bro. Imagine you're in a rap battle, and they got 80 mothers on their mother effers on their side, and you got like 4 of your boys, and you're like, bro, if I at any second we could get jumped right now and we'll be done, right? But what you do is you kind of, you dap up. You look at some of the boys. Like you look at like, okay, who's the real hit on their side? Like, oh, what's up, bro? Hey, dap it up. What's good? Yeah, yeah. Hey, bro. I'm my bad for what I'm about to do to your boy right now. Get him giggling. And then after it's kind of like, next thing you know, you're going at them, and then you convert some of them to your side, right? And that's how you do it. And that's how religion is too, right? Sometimes in religion, it's just about people. Some people, bro, are more talk, less action. Some people are less talk, more action. I have friends that left Christianity as of today, right? But they're not Muslim yet, right? That's a half a job done. That's half a job. Okay, the Trinity doesn't work. I'm glad you figured out three ain't one. Good job. But what's the other half? The other half is, well, Islam is the truth. This is the way of life, and this is the way of life. Why? Right? And you have to invite. You have to invite. The Asian guy's my friend. What do you mean? Who's the Asian? That's what dear friend of mine, millionaire. But anyway, back to this. Dr. G, I think Dr. G is a Christian. I'm not sure. Anyway, why are we talking about Dr. G? Bart, Homer, relax. Anyway, so some people left Christianity, right? And that's half a job done. But some people don't want to hear about the other religion, like, oh, because anyone can talk. Christians say they believe in one God. Do you believe in one God? Well, your God has a hand, a foot, that's not his hand, this and that. And that's not his hand, this and that. And like people have genuine concerns about Islam. Then they could say, well, past the morality. I just left Numbers 15:3. Now why am I looking at blah blah blah? Right? Or 1 Samuel, 15:3. So you have to show them through example. Some people don't want the talk. Some people want the action. And this is why if you pray your prayers, right? If you act like a Muslim, stand your ground, but be kind. This is what's going to make people say that shahada, right? And I don't mean to call IDK out, a good brother of mine, but someone like IDK who may be on this app for years, centuries, and I don't know what IDK is doing these days. I ain't spoke to him forever, but someone like that, a brother who comes around, shows love, pays respects, you know, you gotta show. He's not gonna be about that talk. That scripture can only do so much for someone like, for someone who's who's looking beyond the scripture. You have to live it. You have to live it out. You have to be in that mosque. You have to make that prayer. When you're with a girl, let's say that you're in a situation where you're with a girl, or doing something that's kind of like, or a business situation. Let's say I'm closing a deal and this chick comes to shake my hand. It would be so easy just to shake it. Eye contact, all of that. But it will be a lot harder to put your hand on your chest and be like, "Shawty, I can't shake your hand because I'm Muslim," you know? And that gets into their heads, because the girl will be like, "I'm being objectified out here by every person on this planet. Yet that Muslim man didn't even touch me when I offered to shake his hand." And I have a lot of friends that do that. I have a lot of friends that are my homegirls that especially them Latinas out in Cali. Come on, guys. If you've been to Cali, you know the Latinas are running around here crazy. They will see something like that and be like, "Well, that reminds me kind of Catholicism in its stricter days, right? In its stricter days." And it will give them that parallel to, like, you know what? Catholicism was what I grew up with, but it's watering down every day. But Islam never changed, and that's the beauty of it, right? I've done that before. Now, I'm not gonna lie, am I bipolar still? Yes. Sometimes I'll shake the hand. I might even tickle the hand a little. I might even throw, like, bro, there's ways to shake girls' hands that you could really, like, send a message, you know? But when I'm on my stuff, like when I'm really, like, tapped in on my deen in the moment, like, no, really, bro, there's ways to shake girls' hands to where you could really send them a message like, "What's up, baby girl?" You know? But there's ways to, like, when I'm on my P's and Q's on the deen, I be, like, really thinking, like, I told this girl the other week when I was at the mall, and she's like somebody that I knew outside the mall, but she worked in there. She has a husband, but they're kind of on shaky ground. So I feel like, and she's a revert too. So um, you know, she tried to shake my hand. I said, "I can't do that. Sorry." And she just kind of, like, took her hand back so quick. "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't like." But for me, it was more just like, let me set the tone. Let me set the tone, because women are not to be objectified. Now, you're talking to a guy who's literally going to sit here and tell you every bad thing about a woman. So don't get excited. But women are not objects. Let's be real. Women are beautiful creatures that God created that deserve respect. I'm being honest. You guys think I'm sucking up right now? Nah. This is actually my true opinion. Women are beautiful objects, soft creatures. Bro, women have such soft skin. It's like you could never, like, find something softer than a woman's skin. Some women are ashy, but I'm talking about, like, proper women that actually moisturize and stuff, right? Like, these people are delicate. These women have hearts. They have souls. They have care like no other, right? All the kitchen scrubbing. Oh my god, yeah, you're funny. I'm gonna use that actually. Um, but think about it. Women are so beautiful and, like, soft, and they care like no other. I saw this video the other day, and I'm gonna leave in 7 minutes, guys. So the blab is done only for another 7 minutes here on the Dr. Maleek podcast for the day. But yeah, I saw this thing the other day of a dad with his son, and they were eating cookies, right? They were eating cookies. The son, they opened the cookies. His cookie. He lifted like a thing up so they could see how many cookies were on each plate. He had no cookies. The son had 2 cookies, right? The son just started eating the cookies. He didn't even care. The man was just like, the boy was just, I'm gonna eat the cookies. Then he did it with his daughter, and she's a little girl, and he lifted up the thing, and he had no cookies. She had 2 cookies. He looked at his dad. She looked at his dad, and she gave him one of the cookies straight away. You seen that, Nick, right? Right? So, women just have that care. So we can't say that women aren't the beautifulest creatures on earth. Women are the most beautiful things on earth. So beautiful. Lil Wayne has a song, and I used to stand by this. I still do in my funny days, but like obviously it's wrong, but Lil Wayne has a song. It says, "I wish I could every in the world." If you know that song, you know, right? And I used to stand on that because I used to be like, you know what? I believe that. I wish I could. I wish I could. Sometimes you really wish you could. Because women are so beautiful. Women are so beautiful. So, anyway, we got distracted, but yeah, definitely touching a woman besides your wife is wrong. We know, Abdul. Thank you for the reminder. Man, we have some great haram police in here, guys. Oh man, bro, you guys are like a mini law book. It's like, man, I don't even need to read the Sharia. I just need a couple of you guys next to me, and we're ready to go. Honestly, woo, bro. Imagine having a couple of you by my side, bro. It's like I pick up something, checking the ingredients. No, I'm like that too though with food. I actually have zero tolerance for any type of pork. Like, but then like for example, like imagine someone buy your phone and you get a text from a girl and they look over, they're like, "Nope, haram," and they start quoting the hadith for you. You try on the gold watch. Take that watch off. You know, take that watch off. You know, like, or hey, you got a gold necklace. They bite the necklace. Hey, this is 14 karat. Haram. Oh my god, guys. Yeah. Like 14 karat. You know? That's funny. Just funny stuff, you know? Like, man. Wait, so what did someone say about Lil Deer? Women are beautiful, Maleek. You including Lil Deer with that? Well, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Now, what makes a woman beautiful? Notice I'm not even talking about looks yet. I'm just talking about internally. So, women actually, a lot of their beauty comes from their inner qualities. It has nothing to do with their exterior. A lot does. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of those shallow people that loves looks. Right? What's this guy? Bro, he's a shaitan. He's leading you to shaitan. What's wrong with this guy? Okay. Thank you, Abdullah, for coming. I think you've had enough here. Anyway, yeah, I'm very shallow. And I look at it like, if you are beautiful, if you are stunning, that's a great start. But you know what? You could never finish there. You know why? Because there's some beautiful women out here, but their personalities are like vomitable, like vomit, like it's disgusting. So you have to be careful of that. And the women, and there's actually a hadith on this, right, where it says you can marry women. Let me read it actually here. We'll keep it. Let me see the hadith on marry women for these reasons. Wait, now I'm gonna give you this hadith. Oh yeah, here, guys, look at this hadith. Beautiful hadith. Bukhari 5090. If anyone's looking. Narrated Abu Huraira, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, a woman is married for 4 things. 4 things. Her wealth. Most of y'all broke, but it's okay. Her family status. Don't really care about that, me personally, but there, you know, a lot of people that is very telling, right? Her beauty and her religion. Those last 2 are me for sure. Okay. Now watch what the Prophet says. So you should marry the religious woman, otherwise you will be a loser. Loser. L. That's the English translation. I don't know if they captured the Arabic in what they said, but this is the English translation, right? You will be a loser. Loser. Right? So those out there who marry based on, oh, I'm Palestinian and you're Palestinian, or I'm Libyan and you're Libyan, or I'm Pakistani and you're Pakistani, or, oh, my mother knows your mother, oh, our families were best friends and all that. That's not, you're the loser. You marry based on religion, but beauty as well. There's the 4 reasons, but religion is the one that you have to get. And I'll tell you why this is so important. And I'll tell you about my experience. I'll literally tell you about me and my ex. My ex, right, was Muslim. She's a Muslim, my ex. Now, for the sakes of us talking, we're just going to call her my wife. Because, you know, we're just going to... Go with me. Okay. So my wife, right? She was Muslim, I'm Muslim. Now, the problem was is that some Muslims are not actually religious, but they're Muslim. They know, they've been to the school, they've been everywhere, right? But she was like, for example, we had a big fight one time because I wanted to go to Jummah prayer and I wanted her to come with me, and she said, no, I need to curl my hair. It's gonna take me hours, so I need to start curling my hair now. Shawty, what? Who care about your hair? Nobody cares that your hair is curly and looks nice for tonight. Like, she was so worried because I remember that night, I was booked. Like, I got booked at a club in LA. I was like, I forgot what the club was. It Poppies? It was either Poppies or one of them. I had got booked, and it was her birthday too. Oh, that's what it was. It was her birthday, and I took the booking because I wanted her to like have fun. So, cause I didn't want to do it, but I just did it. I was like, you know what? She wanted to go out. I could get paid. Like me, I don't show up to the club unless there's money in the bag, you know? So I was like, okay, it makes sense. Obviously we don't drink and stuff, so we're showing up to do that. We're vibing out. Now, she said, I want to curl my hair. It's gonna take me hours, so I'm not coming to Jummah. I was like, what? Like, these are things, bro, within relationships where you start seeing this hadith from the Prophet and you're like, that's making sense. Because that leads to other things now. Because now it's like, and I have to say this, and this is against myself. This is literally against I'm literally talking to myself right now. Then you have women who, let's say I'm being a little flirty and I'm in the wrong. Then you got women who are just accepting that flirtiness and giving it back. And then flirtiness turns into what? Hugs. And hugs turns into... Then that turns into... You know? And then next thing you know, it's... And then you're doing all of that. Right? So, it's like... One of those things is like... Imagine, it all started from flirting. This is why in Islam you got to be careful about accepting things, right? Like, okay, here, I'll give you mods. I don't have any mods, but here, you can, if someone's being disrespectful, you can take care of it. But anyway, it's like, you get what I'm saying? From hugs to hawk twos. You're silly. But you see how like that one thing is a pathway that leads into other stuff. This is like what we have to be careful of, and this is why the Prophet said to marry for religion, or else you'll be among the losers, right? So I hope everyone understands that, and understands why at the end we're so particular about what's said about Islam, right? And this is why in my journey, being a Salafi is probably is the best. Or I like to call myself an Athari, but Salafi is also, I don't mind it. This is the reason why I like being a Salafi, is because not because of how strict it is, because everyone thinks Salafi Islam is so strict, and it's not really strict when you think about it. It's strict. It's to the point of pureness. It's pure of what the message was, right? Like, why would I take an interpretation of my own when I have an ijma of people that came after him? Who says my interpretation is any better or any good? That doesn't mean I agree with every ijma, right? Maybe there's an ijma out there that someone could bring me to alive now, and I'll be like, I don't agree with that, right? But as a majority, of course I'm going to follow what the first 3 generations in majority thought, because they were there. They were there when the religion of purity came down, when the last and final religion came down. I wasn't there. I came 1500 years later. And this is why sometimes people get confused that Salafi means you have to be a perfect person. No, Salafi is being pure and understanding. It's like, okay, you can make music, right? Do you go around saying making music is halal? Like when I was in Saudi and Dubai. When I was in Dubai and I had Muslim sheikhs telling me that doing music is not wrong. Wallahi, I had sheikhs when I was at the mosque who knew I was an artist that would tell me there's nothing wrong with you making music. Right? I had that. But in my heart, I knew it was wrong because I knew my belief, right? But there are people who will make halal what is haram. That's what you got. That's what Salafism, or whatever you want to call it, prevents. It prevents people from innovating the purity of the religion, right? And that's why I believe wholeheartedly that the Athari Salafi position is the correct one. I have Muslims friends that think otherwise. There's a lot of women on this app that I know that feel that Salafi is wrong. It's too strict. It's weird. It's very harsh. But you know what? But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Is it halal to watch TV shows like Desperate Housewife? I don't know. I honestly don't know, Miss Universe. I really don't. I don't know if that's halal or haram. My gut would say something, but I don't know if that's true. Because the thing is that there's Athari and Salafi difference. Well, the difference is that Ash'aris call themselves Salafi too sometimes. So Salafi just means you follow the first 3 generations of the Salaf. So then you'll have people arguing, well, what did the Salaf actually say on these subjects, So I like to say Athari as well, but just to be pure about the situation, right? But the thing is, guys, is that what I'm trying to say is that being an Athari purifies the religion even further, because now you're following the first 3 generations. Yeah, Wahhabi. We hear Wahhabi, we hear these things. But you know why some women have a problem being Salafi? You know why? Because the problem with women, and this is why women need a man. And by the way, guys, don't misquote me. I just spent 20 minutes saying women are beautiful and they're the best creatures. I think women are the best creatures God made. Honestly. Like, as a whole. Don't get specific about prophets and stuff. Don't misquote me. I'm talking about in general. Women are the best creatures I believe God made. Because, as obviously from the prophets... Okay, let me do it like this, just so none of y'all get angry. After the prophets, after the righteous kings, after Mary, Asiya, Aisha, Khadijah, etc. On the women's side, the apostles, the, the companions, the Sahaba, the Ansar, all of that, right? I believe that women are the most beautifulest creatures made. But sometimes women have a tough time with harshness. I'll tell you why. Because sometimes there's a fine line between strictness and love. And love allows flexibility. Love allows people to do things that aren't right. Don't we all love somebody in this room that we make excuses for every day when they do stuff wrong? Right? Don't we love somebody in here that we always make excuses for? Well, why are we making excuses for them? Because we love them. Right? So at the same time, there's no bending for the people that for a way of life. God has sent this way of life, and there's no left or right of it. It's either haram, halal, or there's some negotiation on it, right? And that's on certain subjects, right? But the main big things in life, it's either haram or halal, right? So women have a hard time with that, right? And men make it even harder for them, right? Right? And you're right. I'm that girl. I don't want to say your name, but I'm that girl is right. Because you know why she's right? Because when you like, if I eat something right now, it takes a while to ingest. I don't just eat it and then crap it out. Right? It goes through my esophagus, to my intestines, to my poo-poo. Next thing you know, I'm in the bathroom, right? And all the nutrients got designated to their body. In the same way, you can't push someone so quick into a belief system when they come from a different mindset. Right? So you can't just, as a Salafi, come for a woman with love and compassion that sometimes her heart bends for certain things, and just be like, takfir. Like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to have compassion and swag and finesse, right? Because if you don't have that compassion, that finesse and all that, you're just gonna push people away. Islam is the religion of invitation. It's an invitation to the world. When it says that the Prophet was sent as a mercy to mankind, that's an invitation. Like A7BK in the chat, he's not going to be Muslim, but he's got the invitation. It's like going to a wedding. It's like I can invite 100 people to the wedding. How many are going to show up? Well, probably 200, right? Because that's how weddings always work. But that was a bad example. But if I if I invite people somewhere, not everybody's going to take the invitation, right? And that's the way, that's why life is a test. Because I can invite you to study and get an A, but you also have the choice to not, right? So yeah, I'm still here, bro. Why am I on the timer? I'm going to leave in 7 minutes. 7 minutes I'm out. 9:20 I'm out and into the treadmill. But, and guys, I love this account because I have the guest thing turned off. I just realized that no one can request. I love it. I love the fact no one can request. And I appreciate you guys sitting here listening. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully this is not just blab. Maybe you're doing something. Maybe you're washing, cooking, farting, and I'm keeping you company, right? But one of the things that I want people to learn is that Islam is an invitation to all, and not everybody has to accept that invitation, right? because an invitation is a free choice. Now, just because somebody didn't come to the invitation, that doesn't mean they'll never come. Who are you who is someone to takfir or eliminate someone when God hasn't made his final call on that? Meaning that God, like Abu Lahab, we knew his verdict. His verdict was sent down. The companions, their Sahaba, their verdict was sent down in the opposite way, right? They were told, you are going to heaven, guaranteed. But until that verdict comes, who is anyone to say who's going where? Right? You never know where someone's going to end up. Heaven, hell. And we have the hadith on that. That some people will be so close to heaven, and then boom, they'll go to hell. And some people will come up so close to hell, and they'll go to heaven. How? How is that possible? How could you work your whole life being a Muslim, sitting in the front row of prayer? No, that's not a weak hadith. A7, you're here on the very thin line. I need you to relax and not get busy. You're a Christian. You're welcome, but don't overstep. It's not a weak hadith. It's actually in the Bukhari Muslim collection, right? Now, okay, Layla, go to church, bro. I don't know why you're preaching that here. You can't defend it, so I don't know why you're here preaching it, but whatever. I'm not gonna mute you for saying it, but still. Anyway, the thing is, guys, is that, why can people be their whole life bad and go to heaven, and people be their whole life good and end up in hell? Because again, it goes back to the midterm and the final exam. You could fail the first two midterms and still pass the class, and you could get an A on the first two midterms and still fail the class. Because life is not linear. Life is not work-based. Life is not do good today, do good tomorrow, do good next week. Even when you go to the gym, you can work out for a year and then eat bad for the rest of your life and be unhealthy. Or you could be someone who slacked off your whole life and came to the gym for 2 years and be six-packed up. Life doesn't work like that. Life is based on consistency of effort. I've been out the music game 2 years now. I've been written off as old news. And I could come back tomorrow and be him. And you guys could see me somewhere else and be like, I used to know that over here. Right? In the same way, I could be the hottest. I got all gold in my chain, all gold in my watch. Or I could be one of these guys and you could never hear from me again. I could have everything. What about Nip? What about Nip? That's someone close to my heart. Let's talk about it. Nipsey Hussle. The marathon. The marathon. The marathon. And bro died at 30. Rest in peace, Nip. I hope Islam entered your heart before you went. But that's a different story. But you get what I'm saying? So young. And it could all be over. And then you got people blowing up and becoming millionaires at 50. So I'll tell you guys this. When I eat food, I'm either doing one of two things. I'm either scoping something out or I'm watching Shark Tank. I only do these two things when I'm eating. Just know when Maleek has food in his mouth, pause, don't twist that he's either scoping something out, like somebody's annoyed him, so he's figuring out how to, what he's gonna do about it, or he's watching Shark Tank. I see, bro, people go on Shark Tank with a toothbrush that brushes your teeth for you, or a wrench that sings and dances, or a cookie that has less sugar than other cookies. They're 40 and 50. They get $1 million out off the cuff. Here's a milli. See you later. Because you can literally have everything and die at 30, or you could have nothing until you're 50 and then blow up. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Life is not linear. Life is the journey. This is why, back to someone like Blake, back to someone like Easy Dawa, just back to these type of people, I'm not pressed. I'm not pressed. In the moment of anger and emotion, remember what I started with. Love and hate are the same thing. The opposite of love and hate is not giving a F. When you hate somebody, you really love them. You can't hate something that you don't have relation to. When you're passionate and cussing people out or doing something like that, you love them. You're basically telling them, I love you, but I don't know how to tell you that. Right? When you put your middle finger up and keep it pushing and move on to the next thing, that's when you tell someone, I don't know you. Right? In the same way that like in the same way, right? That when you love your closest people you love annoy you the most. If I tell you name your top 4 annoying people in the world, they're all people that you live with or around. But then if I tell you name your top 4 people you love, they're going to be the same people probably. So the point is, guys, is that life is not linear. You can't write anyone out. Yes, these people are committing problems. They need to be called out. Things need to be seen to the eyes. But after that, leave it. Leave it. Let Allah guide everyone. Let them. It's tough when you have people blaspheming your prophet, the last and final messenger, the one who came, the last and final messenger who came and brought the message, was stoned, was thrown rocks at, was spat on, was excommunicated out of his land, was sick, had lost his wife, had lost his family, had lost everything he knows, had the whole world taken away from him. I'm getting emotional. Yeah, I am getting emotional. Take a seat. The last and final messenger has had everything taken away from him. And by the way, every prophet experienced some struggle. Jesus, they planned and plotted on him. Jesus came and gave the word of God to the people of Israel. And they planned and plotted on him. Moses came, taught them monotheism, went away, comes back and there's a gold cow there. And by the way, Aaron didn't do that, Christians. Sorry. It wasn't Aaron who put the gold calf with them. Sorry, Christians. Because you're not going to talk bad about any of the prophets. That's what a Muslim is. You ain't going to talk bad about Aaron. May peace and blessings be on him. Right? So, the last and final messenger, Prophet Muhammad, the seal of prophets, came. And guess what? He was thinking about me. He was thinking about you. He was thinking about his ummah. And that's powerful. Because we got people in this world today that don't even think about us. And they've broke bread with us. They know us. They don't even call. And there's some guy in the desert 1,500 years ago that was thinking about me and you when he was on the earth. And he was a prophet of God, and he had everything taken from him. Yet you want to call God, and you may look at that as God was unjust, but God wasn't. God tested. And how did I start this talk? Look how it's all full circle. How did I start? I said when God loves you the most, he tests you the most. Because when God tests you, it's an opportunity to get closer to him. Boom. If you've been here from the start, that's what we call a presentation. Because everything wrapped up into one nice bow. Just because God is testing you, just because you're having a crappy day or a crappy life, God is giving you an opportunity that he hasn't gave to someone else. Because when God gives you money, and fame and glory and everything, right? And you forget about him, That's the worst and hardest test you could ever get. So if you're sick, if your family's sick, if somebody's sick, if somebody's hurt, if you lose someone you love. I had people in my arms that I loved, that I used to have in my arms, between my arms. I wouldn't even let them go. That I lost, right? That's a test. That's God reminding you that this ain't forever. This ain't forever. This ain't forever. Nothing's forever. Your big biceps, Maleek, they ain't forever. No, I'm joking. Your family, Maleek, it ain't forever. I have family that I love that I haven't spoke to. I love them. If I saw them, I'd probably smile. But they're not forever. God's reminding you. I had hotels that I stayed in. The best hotels, the worst hotels. I've lost more jewelry and watches, 10, 15, 20,000 in a hotel room. Don't know if it got swiped. Don't know if I just was lazy and it was under the bed. I don't know if I lost jewelry and stuff that I never was able to recover. But guess what? That ain't going nowhere with me. You get sad in the moment, but you can just go buy another one. It's all a test. Right? So at the end of the day, I just want people to understand that life is a test. And God presents opportunity to get closer to him through that test. Good or bad. God doesn't have to hurt. God doesn't have to put a test in your life that's bad. Look at all these blessings. Look at all these blessings people have. Money, cars, breathing, fingers, hands, feet, legs that work. Is that not a test from God? Is that not a test from God that your fingers work? Is that not a test from God that your fingers work today? Yes or no? Of course it is. Because with those fingers, you can go feed the poor, and with those same very fingers, you can go do something bad. Right? With those same fingers, you can go feed the poor, and with the same fingers, you can go do something bad. So that finger is a test from God. Those fingers. With my size 14 foot, I can go running, I can walk to help people, or I can shove it up someone's you-know-what. That's a test from God. So don't just think that the test is coming from big events that come in your life or polarizing events. The tests are every day. The tests come in everyday style and fashion. Now, who's going to step to the plate? When Jesus asked the disciples, who's going to come with me and stand with me for the truth of Allah? The disciples said, we will. We are Muslims. When the Prophet stood and said, who's going to come stand with me? The companions of the Sahaba said, we will. We are Muslims. We submit our will. Who's going to be those disciples, those companions for right and not be the ones of wrong? That's the question. That's the real question. Who's going to be those rightful disciples, those companions, those Sahaba that say, we are Muslims. We stand for the truth. That's what I wanted to say. Because some people don't want to stand for nothing. And let me tell you something else Kanye told me. If you stand for nothing, you're going to fall for everything. That's something in my ears I heard. And that's something that stands by me. Because if you stand for nothing, you will literally fall for everything. And I believe in that. Because I've seen people in my own life not stand up for stuff. Right? Not stand up for stuff, and look what happens. You just end up being a floppy disk. People will use you as a carpet. So, at the end of the day, guys, it's 9:30. I gotta go do my running. I might come back and vent later. Who knows? I actually kind of like this, but we'll see. I think today, if we're going to come on live, we're going to do stuff like this. We're going to have 20, 30 people. We're going to have nobody coming up. And we're just going to have people in the chat being respectful, chatting, listening, doing what you do. Because that's what this is about. And I'm sick and tired of people coming on this app doing wrong things and allowing blasphemy. Like, have some jealousy. Have some jealousy, guys. Yeah, you know what, guys? When I come back later, I'll put a different whip on the screen. I'll put my car on screen. How about that? I'll put my G-Wagon after I got it wrapped. And you guys can stare at the G-Wag for the whole session instead of this little car that I freaking scratched the rims on. But anyway, guys, the last thing I'm going to say is this, is people told me my whole life, that I could never do something. And then when I did it, like when I got into medical school at 18 years old, right? When I got into medical school at 18 years old, okay? After everyone said I could never do it, right? Did 2 years. Yeah, I dropped out. No problem. But everyone knew I couldn't. Like, I finished college and high school at the same time. Was able to get into med school so young, right? And then I said, you know what? I'm going to be a doctor rapper. Bro, I was on the biggest radio station in New York. I was on Hot 97, Funk Flex. And I went up there and I told all of them, I'm going to be the first doctor rapper in the world. And they stared at me like I was crazy. It's actually on YouTube if you guys care to go watch, even though it's just old. I was like 22. I was on Hot 97, Funk Flex, DJ Juanito, all of that, live on air. And I told them I'm going to be the first doctor rapper. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. And now they looking at me like I'm even crazier because I'm in the music world, but I gave dawah. And I give really good dawah. Just like I make really good music. Just like I'm a really good lover. Just like I'm a really good enemy, too. I'm really good at that as well. And I'm really good at making my bed in the morning. And I'm really good at chess. And I'm really good at a lot of things. And I'm really bad at a lot of stuff, too. Just like we all are. Right? Remember that. For everything good God gives you, he takes away something else. To remind you that you ain't him. You ain't him. You ain't her. God gave you ladies a lot. Some of you got some of you just got the best bodies in the world. Like, it's just everything. Head to toe. But you don't have a personality. And you can't cook. And God gave some of you guys strength or mathematical knowledge, but he gave you tiny wieners. Some of you guys... I'm joking. Okay, stop. My bad. Guys, ignore that. Oh, man. Exactly. And God made some of you good people, but some of you are still Christian. And you gotta fix that, bro, before it's too late. Muslims, why do they need to fix that? Because God is not a man. Ameen. Can I get an ameen in the chat for God is not a man? Can I get an ameen in the chat for God is not a man? Can I get an ameen in the chat for God is not a man? That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see, guys. Because always remember, God would never come down as a man and get slapped and punched in the face. Respectfully though, Christians, I'm not saying this rudely or to attack, and I don't mean to belittle either. No, Bart. See, now you're doing too much, Bart. Stop it. When we say that, Christians, it's to say that God is not a man, and God will never be a man. It's not to say that we're mocking what you believe is God is a man, but we're just reminding you that we will never, ever, ever think that the God that created me and you was a man. And I hope you Christians come to realize, that as well. Because once you realize that, life will change. Once you stop trying to make 3 equal 1 and 1 equal 3, life will change. Once you accept the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, as your final messenger, as your final warner, as Allah reminds him that in the Quran that you are a warner, right? Once you accept a prophet that cared about you 1500 years ago, before you even existed, that was getting ambushed by his enemies, that was trying to care about you before you even knew yourself, that you even existed, that set up the last and final religion for you to believe in, that's powerful. Sent by the one true God. Sent by the one true God. Just like Jesus came as a warning for the children of Israel and told them to stop. And they kept going. And Jesus got lifted up alive, and he'll come back at the end and he'll confirm all of what I just told you. Not all of it, sorry, but all the Islamic parts, right? And that's powerful. That's powerful. That Jesus will come back. The man Jesus Christ. The Messiah Jesus Christ. The prophet and messenger Jesus Christ. Notice, guys, we didn't say the God Jesus Christ, because Jesus is not God. There's only one God, and that is not Jesus, right? And he will come back and he will show everybody. What does chapter 4 verse 159 say? All the people of the book will believe in Jesus before his death. So before Jesus dies, all the people of the book will know who the true Jesus really is. Including you Christians. You will know the true Jesus. And if you don't know him, if you're not around at the time of Jesus, you'll find out as soon as you take your last breath. And God have mercy, not just for the Muslims in here who will meet the angel of death and be asked those 3 questions, right? But to all the Christians and Jews that will hear death, will be called upon death, and will be asked those questions. Who is your God? And once they say Jesus, may Allah not make us amongst those who witness that punishment in the grave. And it's sad, because I know people that that died in that died on that type of time, you know? A lot of good people. And it's sad. Sometimes you don't get it, you know? You don't get why such a good person could die a Christian, you know? Or a Jew. But you know, God tested. Remember, we're going back to the test, guys. God tests everyone, you know? And I'm so grateful that my mom left and she's a Muslim. And I'm so glad that none of my immediate family is Christian that I really talk to, because that would kill me every day, you know? Every day, you know? And we need to not just only be worried about that, but we need to be worried about, as Muslims, what we do. Because you don't just get a free pass. We don't just get a free pass. I'm about to leave. Don, let me get you up out of here though before we go, because you don't call him Momo, okay? Because you're the only slow mo here. So here, guys, the last words would be this: remember, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, came and brought the message down for all of mankind, the invitation. Islam is the invitation to the one true way. Not everyone has to accept that, but everyone has to pay the price for what they accept. And I really hope you guys understand and worry about yourselves first. Because the first people going to be in hell, guys, are the Muslims. The hypocrite, the scholar, right? The hypocrite and the scholar and the martyr. They're the first ones in hell. Well, Maleek, how are they the first ones in hell? They were doing good for Islam. Allah says, the martyr who comes, but he got the reward of the people. The hypocrite, the scholar who comes and he says, oh, he did this all for everyone, right? They're the first ones in with the hypocrites. They're all Muslims, the first ones in. Can you believe that? So worry about yourself, because we don't want to be amongst these people. We ask Allah to not make us amongst these people. How do you know we're not currently these people? By accident. You don't. So anyway, guys, man, I think I'm ready to get into the gym, do a little running. But anyway, again, guys, one last time in the chat before we go. Can I get an Ameen to God is not a man? Jesus is not a curse. Can I get an Ameen in the chat one more time? God is not a man. Jesus is not a curse. Can I get an Ameen in the chat? God is not a man. Jesus was not a curse. Ameen. I might come back here later, bro, and just talk nonsense again. So, thank you guys for coming. Enjoy your Sunday. Have fun, yeah? I'll come back. I'll put my G-Wag next time.